Welcome back to the channel. I don't usually do Duel Links content, but I play a ton of the game. Um, and I figured there's usually ban list reaction videos for the TCG, so why not for Duel Links? Seeing as that the KC Cup just ended, I think last week, Konami put out the new Forbidden Limited list that's going to be implemented on May 10th. And they also released the skill changes, which look like they're going to go into effect between May 12th and 14th. We're going to go over the ban list first. So new to the limited list is Azori's Silver Dragon and the Melody of Awakening Dragon, which are both supposed to be hits to Blue Eyes. As far as I had seen, Melody was a recent inclusion in Blue Eyes for Ultimate Dragon's skill. You could essentially just discard a White Stone, grab 2 Blue Eyes, and immediately trigger the skill. It is a Kaiba, I think it's his level 45, like his final level up reward. So obviously not everybody had access to it as if it was in a box. Azure Eyes at 1, these two are supposed to counteract each other, like you can only play one or the other. Blue Eyes players are just going to play Azure Eyes now. They're going to scrap the Melody again, probably go back to stuff like Karma Cut. They'll just go back to the way they were playing before. I don't really see this as more than like a small slap on the wrist to Blue Eyes. Storm was also put at 1. I've seen a few comments here and there saying that people were getting destroyed by this card on the ranked ladder. I didn't see it too much. I think I saw it once or twice against Cyber Dragon, and it did have an impact, but I don't know if Limit 1 was really necessary on it. I guess with some of the leaks that have come out, it makes a little more sense because it'll just kind of become free. Onto the Limit 2s, you have Dragonian Knight Ascalon, which, going further down the list, they took Senidus off the 2 and swapped it into Ascalon, which I'm perfectly fine with. I hate seeing Ascalon and getting rid of it and then just having them bring it right back out is a slap in the face. So I'm fine with them putting that at 2. Cybernetic Fusion support isn't... I mean, it's a hit to Cyber Dragon. But it's more of a hit to their skill. The Cyber Style skill that for every 1,000 life points you've lost, you can summon a Proto Cyber Dragon from nowhere. Cybernetic Fusion support just lets you pay 2,000 life points for essentially nothing. They very rarely actually use the card's effect. I think Overflow is at 2, so I think this means that they can only play this or Overflow or one of each. So it kind of makes that skill harder to access. Gaga's Sister is an interesting way to hit Onomat. Now Onomat can't play things like Hey Trunade, which was how they were clearing back row to OTK so consistently. Gagaga did get another hit on the skill list. We'll go over that in a bit. I do think this will hurt the deck a little bit, but it's again just a slap on the wrist. Star Seraph Sovereignty to 2 is literally just so that you can't play Star Seraph Dark Lords. Sovereignty in itself is a solid card, but by itself it's not fantastic. Having Sovereignty without Scepter is honestly kind of a brick from my experience. It's just kind of a 2K wall. If you sovereignty and special another sovereignty from your hand, you get to draw one, but they still just sit there. They can't be used unless there's 3 materials on board. So this is, at least to me, literally just so that you can't play Star Seraph Dark Lord. Sanctified Dark Lord is just to hit the Dark Lord. It was at 1 before, and I think they realized that having it at 1 didn't really do anything besides the fact that you couldn't play 3. Putting it on the limit on the semi-limit 2 list means that I don't want to say Dark Lord is dead because Duel Links players have thought that before, but now you have Ichthol, Contact, and Sanctified all on the limit 2. I think the only thing left they could do is hit Banishment if Dark Lord still somehow manages to keep playing. For the limit 3, I call like shenanigans so hard on this hit. I love Lunalight, and this is all because of a card that was leaked, and this pretty much confirms it. For those of you that don't know, Fire Formation Tanky was leaked as being in the next main box. So them hitting Yellow Martin and Emerald Bird and saying that it's because of planned releases to strengthen Beast Warrior types, they didn't want Tanky in the format with an unlimited Lunalight deck. Which, Lunalight is just OTK. I guess it would just make it more consistent. I guess at this point you would play 2 Emerald Bird and 1 Yellow Martin, and then when Tanky comes out, try to get 3 Tanky and play it that way. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this hit at all. I don't think Lunalights deserved it. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Senidus is off the list because it was replaced by Ascalon, which is fine. Ascalon is a much stronger card and a much more difficult to out boss monster than just fiendish chaining a Senidus. From there, we'll move on to the skill rebalancing. Not too much. So they buffed Check Out My Fusion and Pathway to Chaos, and then they nerfed level duplication, level augmentation, and level reduction all in the same way, and then they nerfed Titan Showdown and Automata Play. Check Out My Fusion, I'm not really sure what the buff was because I've never seen this skill used, which is usually why they get a buff. Pathway to Chaos is the same. I guess if you want to turn your Blackluster Soldier into a Super Soldier, it's good. It seems like a really specific skill condition to have to discard a Karibo in order to target an effect monster. But considering Guy the Fierce Knight and Blackluster Soldier are vanillas anyway, I feel like I'm missing something there, probably with some of the support. And Check Out My Fusion, add Vehicroid Connection Zone to your hand from outside your deck by putting a card from your hand back into the deck. Maybe that's a really good card for the Vehicroids. I feel like I'm just probably missing something. Level duplication, level augmentation, and level reduction all essentially got the same nerf, which is you have to be at 3,000 life points or lower, and it only lasts until the end of the turn, and it can still only be used once per duel. So, sorry FA players, no more buffing that Hang On Mock to a level 14 for the rest of the duel. You'll actually have to buff it the correct way now. I'm saying that like I didn't pull the same shenanigans with FA Dark Lords. Titan Showdown. I know that the skill was being used a lot in um, Evil Eye decks with Rex. It now has the restriction of requiring a dinosaur type monster to be on your field for the double damage to happen. That's fine by me. Rex is supposed to be using dinos. The skill, I'm sure, was designed with dinos in mind. Now it's just not generic anymore. I'm curious to see if Evil Eye was fine on its own. I don't think I ever actually lost to this skill. I usually just lost to the deck. So I'm curious what skill they'll switch over to now that this one isn't an option. And then Automata Play got a really weird nerf. So it used to be return 2 automat monsters or cards from your hand to your deck to add 2 automat monsters from your deck to your hand, and you can only use it once per duel. So now you can only return 1 automat card from hand to deck to get 1 automat monster from deck, but you can use it twice per duel. I'm honestly kind of more of a fan of that. I get that you can no longer like fix your entire hand and get like all your combo pieces in one shot, but it might just require some better deck building then to make sure you're not bricking as often. I like being able to use the skill more than once in the duel. Like say you draw into like a Gaga sister when you really need the gloves, and you'd already used the skill on your first turn, you were screwed. Now you can still use the skill again as long as you haven't used it twice. So I'm actually kind of a fan of this change. I also haven't played a ton of the deck. I have most of it, but I just couldn't get the hang of it. But yeah, those were all the changes. As far as like the skill changes went, there wasn't a ton, unlike last time where they nerfed like freaking half the skill base. I think the biggest hits came on the limited list for for Star Seraph Dark Lords. Blue Eyes is still going to be meta. Sorry. Hopefully after whatever this grand tournament they talked about in this update, they'll fix it. If you like this, I can always do more Duel Links content. I love playing the game. I play it all the time. Just let me know down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.